went to John Glenn High School.
John Lennon?
John Glenn, like the
John
astronaut.
Glenn. Oh, okay. I'm about to say John Lennon has a high school name after him. Okay. All right. And Lockie.
Willow Run High School.
Okay. Now, another level of self-discovery. This is where a lot of us in high school, self-discovery, where we might start to date, we start feeling ourselves, we start to get more into our own independence, start to feel ourselves. We start to, I don't know. Did y'all hump in the staircase, by the way? We didn't cover that in junior high school. Did y'all hump in the staircase?
Yeah. Oh, humping the staircase. No, I'm humping over the staircase.
He's like, what?
I was
humping.
I was humping in kindergarten in the playhouse. Yeah. So
not in kindergarten. Oh,
yes.
Well, I asked, but I was curious. Yes, I was at. So yeah, but and this is like in high school. This is where I usually start to, kind of develop what your niche is. If you knew at the time, because creators normally know. Creators is in that. I always say that, like a creative, when you're creative, that's not something that you acquire. That's something that's innate. That's in you. When you a creative, you just don't find out about it till later on. But that's in you. Okay, so I'm wondering that, like, I don't know if that's something you discovered in high school. So give me some high school experiences.
I definitely came into the writing phase in middle school. Like I would always get recognized by my teachers for writing really good stories. Like that was what I love to do. So like my English classes and my writing class, I always excelled in that. And my teachers were always like, where are you getting these stories from? Because I've always loved to read like Stephen King, Dean Koontz, and stuff.
I was about to ask you what type of stories you used to write.
So I would write that kind of stuff, and they would be looking at me sideways, like, "Where is this coming from? Are you being abused at home?" Because like I would write really dark,
dark
type stories. And it's like, no, this is just the kind of stuff that I read. So these are just stories that pop in my mind, my creative moments. But yeah, I discovered that definitely. I would say in middle school that I love to write.
Oh, and then you said you entered the different competitions, right? You said you entered.
Yeah, my mom would put me.
Your mom, yes.
When I would go to Pennsylvania for the summer, I would show her. She's like, "Oh, okay, this Sunday you're supposed to speak at this, so you need to sit down and write this." I'd be looking like, "What? Like I just got like why?"
Who's your momager?
Yeah, really. But I appreciate it now. But yeah, she always had me doing something.
Yeah. So and y'all did y'all meet in high school?
No, we met right after I graduated. I was working at a men's clothing store called JW. I don't know if y'all had that there in New York. JW. Jeans West. Did y'all have like merry-go-round and all that?
No.
Well, yeah, I was working at a mall here in Michigan, and he was there with one of his friends, and they came in the store, and we had a mutual friend that had been trying to hook us up since I was in like a junior in high school. And I actually went to one of his football games. I just never got to meet him. So he came into my job one day. This is after I graduated. He was trying to talk to me, but I was with someone else at the time. He hit me with the "what? You can't have friends" because he asked me for his number.
That. He got you there, huh? He got you. Look. Don't be greedy. Don't look at him. You got it. You did it with that, Rocky. You hit that line. You really did that happen?
No, it worked.
Yeah,
you have male friends, right? You can't have male friends.
6 months later, we was married.
I could easily been like, "Oh, my bad," and walked away. Like,
of course not.
But
because you was thumping at 5, so of course you couldn't do that. Of course not. Yeah. So, just looking back at this moment. Yeah. So looking back at this, you look like I was 12 back then. That's what I say. Yeah. So both. I need both of you to do me a favor. I want to challenge y'all real quick. I need y'all to pour into these two right here, these two young people right here, and just going from where you are right now, and kind of point to them and trying to just encourage them in the way as to kind of prepare them to what to experience from where you are right now. Can you do that?
I would tell myself at that age, I think it might have been like 22. I would say just learn how to relax and enjoy the moment more. Because I've always been super grown, like, and mature and just very serious. I would tell her to just relax more.
I was very immature, but mature. It was weird. Like I was mature enough, but I was immature. You know, like even like today, sometimes I think like I'm really 51 years old now. I feel like it sometimes.
Right.
Mental, I still feel like I could be in a room with a 20-year olds and kick it. Like, my mental sometimes I feel like that. But yeah, and then yeah, I mean, I don't know, man.
What would you tell him, Rocky? I mean, just be real with it.
It's been such a beautiful life overall that I would tell him to stop worrying so much. He worries too much, but other than that, I mean, our life together for me has been like incredible. All the people I see go through that they've been through, we haven't went through like probably, I don't know, 80% of what.
Wow, and that's wonderful. I'm glad because I mean, y'all started young. Y'all started young because you say y'all was in our 20s. Y'all started young, so I know in the beginning it was kind of rough, wasn't it? I mean, just realistically speaking, so to speak, it was kind of rough because y'all was learning each other, and we going back to culture, right? We're going back to culture and learning each other in that way and trying to, kind of navigate that. Like, can you give us more of that ebony and ivory type of?
Yeah, she was going through stuff with her parents.
Okay.
So I was that person there to probably. I'm speaking. We ain't even really talked about this now, but I feel like I was that person that that helped and was positive. You know what I'm saying? And like for her, I was with somebody before her that I love dearly, and but she was abusive.
Oh wow.
So when I had to put my hands on her, I was like, that's enough.
Right. Yes.
On and stuff. So, and God, one night I just broke down and was praying to God, and because I never was like, my mom had us go to Sunday school when we were younger, but I always knew it was a God. I always prayed to him, but I never was in the church like that. And she guided me towards that, and so it was like we helped each other. And so yes, it's different.
I would say our struggle wasn't just life, because like for me, I was very sheltered by my parents, and then when I got pregnant, my dad was the type, you gonna live by my rules, or you can't be, as long as you're like, okay, well, it's time for me to go, because I was in college anyway. So it was like, I moved in with him, and it was just our struggle. I think for me was just figuring out how to navigate life as an adult without the parental safety net there.
Got you.
And so it wasn't the hardship, say, with our relationship, so to speak, for me, because we just always have been pretty much in sync. Like when we would argue, it'd be about dumb stuff, like you didn't put the toilet paper the right way, or what, that kind of stuff. But okay, yeah, I'm a little OCD with the clean. Okay, but, yeah, it would be that kind of stuff. Just like worrying. We're having our first child. How are we gonna, work our work schedules? How are we gonna afford daycare? That was the struggle.
She had planned on this being by herself because she thought that I was gonna be like, oh no, I don't want you.
Really?
Knowing that.
Well, yeah, because I got pregnant pretty soon. Like we met in August, and
she got pregnant 2 days later.
It wasn't 2 days later, but I got pregnant pretty quick, so we
right.
But like we were already,
there was so much uncertainty. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, but we had already been talking about getting married and stuff. But you just don't know. When a baby comes into the mix, you don't know which way it's gonna go. So I was also very practical. Like, okay, when I tell him if it doesn't go the way that I want it to go, I have to be prepared to do this by myself.
Right.
That's just always the mindset I've had. I always got a plan A and a plan B with everything. So, but he stepped up, and he he took on, not just because I was pregnant, but we were genuinely in love. But again, I did not know if that was gonna keep after I told him I was pregnant. You know what I mean? So, but it did. I mean, because he actually, I was at work, and his car was in the shop at the time. He actually got on his bike, rode over to my house, and sat down and talked to my dad while I was at work.
Oh.
And he called me, told me that. I was like, he didn't kill you? I was like, you're still living? He's like, nah, we had a great conversation. I was like, wow.
I love this. Do you think are y'all soul ties?
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We're in each other's DNA, so we soul tied.
Oh,
we're definitely soulmates. I mean, we've been together 31 years, you know.
And so. Rocky, what's your love language? If you have one.
Gifts.
Yeah.
You give
on trips, buying stuff. Like I think it's because I was so poor growing up, and we had you know, and so but no, I always had even though we were not financially stable, my family would do anything for me and her or whatever. So I knew they had my back. We could go stay with them or whatever, which I know she wouldn't have been down for it, but that's just the type of people they are.
Yeah. You know? Janaya, what's yours?
My love language is service. Like, you know, I would do stuff for him, take care of him and stuff like
nice.
That.
What'd you do? No, I'm joking.
You just try. You just itching. You itching to get in trouble here. Yeah. So now let me ask you, because I want to get into the gritty, because I love to when I speak to couples, I love to get into their perspective on marriage. And okay, for one, I want to know from the both of you, do you believe monogamy is natural?
Yeah. Well, you said it's a natural.
What does that mean?
Did you believe it's monogamy? Do you believe monogamy is natural?
Do you believe that being one person is natural? I'm gonna say I believe that it's natural for people to want to go. No, I don't believe that it's natural for people because we're sinful people. You know what I'm saying? But I believe in monogamy. I think it's definitely work in a relationship to stay monogamous.
To stay with.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm not that smart, so I have to be.
That's all right.
I went to Willow Run. But
so, like, when she's saying it's natural, do you think it's natural for a man to just want to be with one person?
It should be. I mean, that's what the Bible say. If it didn't say that in the Bible, then nah.
So yeah, we're saying the same. I think.
You know what? Time out, Rocky. Go. You got 15 seconds. Go ahead, Janaya.
There's rules and regulations. Like men's minds are just.
No, but we're saying the same thing. Like I don't think it's natural because of our sinful nature.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Right. So I think that it definitely
something to acquire.
Yeah, well, it takes work to be monogamous.
It takes work. Yeah, it does.
To doing that.
Yeah, so it can be. Yes, I definitely think I think it should be, but everybody's different. So.
And let me ask you what your perspective on this, and your honest perspective, because marriage nowadays is something that people view as overrated. They feel like if they could, some people, not all, if they could do it all over again, they would probably still, be in lasting relationships without the legal hold, and they'll be able to be comfortable, still live happily ever after, like Oprah Stepman, and not worry about that legal tie. But so I want to know your perspective on that. Also, do you believe that when people say that not only is marriage overrated, do they think that marriage is only if you decide to get married, that it should be for financial benefit?
I think that marriage is beautiful, and it makes me sad that people feel that way. And I think it's basically because in the society we live in now, people want instant gratification. Nobody wants to work. So, like, while it is definitely work, I think it's one of the most beautiful things that I've ever done in my life, because I couldn't imagine being with anybody else. Like, I would hate to be trying to date right now. Like, I wouldn't even want to. Like, if something happened to him, I would just be single for the rest of my life. Like, I just don't want to.
She better be.
But I don't understand why people feel that way. I just think it's a selfishness in our society. Everybody wants instant gratification. Nobody wants to commit to anything. Nobody wants to work on anything, because it's like you have two imperfect people in a situation. There's always going to be you know,
something
that comes up, but you have to be willing to put in the work to make it work.
Rocky?
And you know, you have to be one of those people that wants that, because I know people. I have some friends that try to tell me, I want to be married. I'm like, watching the way they live. You don't want to be married. You're messing with Tom, Dick, and Harry, everybody. Like, you're messing with everything. Like, you're not. Stop that. Like, this, you really like this life. Stop that. You know, like, so I think that, like she was saying, you know, I I love the fact that I relate. I love the fact that God blessed me with a good marriage starting out early, because I use all my business like a marriage. And it's been able, because in marriage, if you can't work together, then, you know, and figure things out, then, you know, a lot of times you end up parting ways. That's
Right.
not business, friendships, you know, all that. So, um, I love the fact, like the way everything happened for me, because that's how I started doing, and a lot of people don't understand that. Like when I tell you, we can't work together, but we're good as friends.
Right.
No, we can't be business, but it's just like someone, you know, y'all can't be together. No, we can't. We can't deal with each other then. Like, so I think that, you know, it's definitely. I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
You're talking about marriage.
Yeah, but go ahead, go on.
It'll come back to you.
Yeah.
So I want to also ask you, and this is so important, like I want to know, like, because I know, like you said, you kind of segue into what I was going to ask you about as a couple and being married and working together, doing business together, filming together, having children together. How do you manage that? How you navigate through that? You know, I want to get perspective on that.
Just take each day at a time. I mean, it's like, you know, you have to get it done, so you just 24-hour compartments. You know, I always say, like, because when we had our kids, we would have our kids on set with us. You know, we would, you know, people said would be helping us, you know, keep them quiet or whatever, or that we would get them stuff to do, like, oh, here, do the clapper, or, you know, hold that boom. It's like, you like asking a mother how she raised 9 kids. You don't think about it, you just do it.
Just right. That's true. It's just, you know, it's no handbook, you know, but I really want to know, as far as, you know, because like I said, y'all like a, you know, a dynamic team. Y'all are like, you know, the teamwork make the dream work. So I want to know, like, how do you manage conflict with, because I know there's got to be times where y'all agree to disagree on certain things, or you know, your creative flow may not match his and vice versa. So how do you work through that?
Sometimes, you know, it gets a little heated, but you know, we have learned how to meet each other in the middle, because he's the business arm. I'm the I'm like 1,000% creative. He's business. He's like, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And I'm more so, but it's been a learning curve for both of us, because in the beginning he'd be like, well, this is too long, we need to cut something. I'm like, no, we're not cutting anything. This is like my soul right here. If you're like asking me to cut the arm off, I can't cut that. It's important. And once we started putting our money into it, we understand that a movie can't be 3 hours long, you know. You know, so it's just
and I think that I think that through the process, overall, she's understood. Like, I don't say this to brag. It's humbly through research, studies, and everything, and the stuff we've been through, like with movie making. You can put a script in front of me, and I can say that's going to at least make our money back in some type of money. Not going to, and she's got to see that. Now there has been a couple projects that I'm like, man, I don't know. Anything faith based, I don't question, because it's just when God put that in our spirit to do it, just do it, and He's never proven us wrong. You know, when we do like, you know, I say regular movies, and I think that I feel like I've shown her enough that she's still shown that they at least make the budget back, and then they continue to make some type of money. And like I tell people, when you do as many films as we do, it creates residual money. Just like you real estate, you buy a bunch of property and stuff, it creates residual. Same thing with the film business. So it's just God has blessed us to be in a situation where we could take an opportunity. Some people say chances, an opportunity with a movie that is really good, but the audience that likes a certain type of movie that we're making money off of, they don't normally gravitate to those type of films. So I may go ahead and say, you know what, let's do it, because they normally at least make the budget back and continue to make some type of money. And I feel like the world needs to see that. I do feel like eventually we will get to a point where they will like almost anything we do, long as it's good. It's just the audience is gravitating towards a certain type of movie right now, you know. And
Gotcha.
I have to keep it in mind, because see, she worked 22 years in the mortgage business. I worked 25 years for a U.S. food service.
Okay.
And so we were doing this while working a regular job,
Yes.
raising a family, you know, doing a movie once every 4 or 5 years. Now, mind you, this was something we never, when we got together, never talked about doing. Movies or nothing. We now have done about 50 films.
Wow.